Thank you so much. Okay, Blaze TV. Hi, everybody. Um, what can I say? I'm just like amazed. Well, most of you probably already heard that audio leak. Don't know where it came from. The ownership of it. Is this really P. Diddy and Meek Mill? I don't know. There are a lot of things going on. He owes money on homes that he has in his possession. He has been seen outside with his twin daughters and Stevie J. One guy, I think he's a bodybuilder, took a picture of himself with P. Diddy, which I'm trying to understand. Why would you want a picture with Puff Diddy with all this nonsense going on? Because most people think, damn, you just thirsty. You want a picture with him? Why? But Stevie J, I'm trying to understand you. Why are you in the company of this man with these rumors out here? So basically, you're saying you're loyal to a fault. Okay, everybody, let's get started. Welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you for joining me. Happy Easter. And let's chop up these latest allegations, rumors against Love. Sean Combs.
I don't drink, so I was playing that shit off like I don't fucking drink. I smoke, nigga. Like I smoke and I had my own weed, but like everybody was passed out. Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the fucking door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I ain't know what the fuck was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against ass cheeks. I heard niggas struggling to take dick. I heard niggas being like, yeah, daddy. Like when we start all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling. Like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all this shit because I was like, this nigga did it. So I'm finna put the squeeze on and get me.
Sorry.
Like all the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the fuck out. I don't drink. I don't drink, so I was playing that shit off like I don't fucking drink. I smoke, nigga. Like I smoke and I had my own weed, but like everybody was passed out. Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the fucking door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I ain't know what the fuck was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against ass cheeks. I heard niggas struggling to take dick. I heard niggas being like, yeah, daddy. Like when he started all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling. Like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all this shit because I was like, this nigga Diddy bitch. So I'm finna put the squeeze on and get me.
So what you have to ask yourself, this guy who's telling the world about what he heard, when was this and what's the location? And do you believe it? Is this just him playing audio from a porn site? I don't know. Let's get the latest on P. Diddy and what's really going on. Just going to run through the latest content, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's a lot. It's a lot. Hello, Brooke. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's go to, let's see. Let's go to US Weekly. Thank you all so much for joining me. A lot of nonsense. First of all, do you believe the audio? Do you believe that's actual audio of Puffy and Meek Mill or whomever? Do you believe this guy? How long has he had it? When did it happen? Where did it happen? What's the truth to it? Because now you got to ask yourself, why release it now? Why are you just not releasing it? Or is it just two men having sex from a porn site, back page site? I don't know. Diddy looks unbothered while out with daughters following Homeland Security raids on his home. Let's see. Sean Diddy Combs has been spotted out for the first time following a Homeland Security raid on his Miami and Los Angeles homes. On Friday, March 29th, the Daily Mail obtained photos of Diddy 54 leaving the Top Golf in Miami while accompanied by daughters Jessie and Delilah, 17. The photos, which were snapped on Thursday, March 28th, showed the rapper wearing a black and purple tracksuit while flashing a peace sign at photographer. Diddy has faced various sexual assault allegations from multiple men and women since November 2023, when ex-girlfriend Cassie filed a lawsuit against him. That has been since settled. He has denied all of the allegations. Diddy shared Jessie Delilah and son King 25 with the late Kim Porter, with whom he had an on and on off relationship from 1994 to 2007. He also adopted Porter's son Quincy Brown, 32, from her prior relationship. He's also a father to Justin Dior, 29, Chance, 17, and Love Sean, 17 months. Wow, I didn't know he had a child that young. And Missa Hilton, Sarah Chapman, and Dana Tran, respectively. So I guess those are the babies and mothers. The images come days after Diddy made headlines on March 25th, Monday, when Homeland Security local law enforcement officers, fully armed and clad in tactical gear, raided the music mogul's Beverly Hills and Miami homes in connection with the federal sex trafficking investigation. Earlier today, Homeland Security investigators in New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. Homeland Security told us weekly in a statement at the time, we will provide further information as it becomes available. So he has been outside, everybody. And then he goes on to talk about the excessive force used, his lawyers crying about that, Aaron Dyer. But you don't hear from Puffy directly. So will we hear from him? I don't know. I'm trying to understand, why would you be out with Stevie J? Please help me understand that. I don't understand that. Oh, excuse me, allergies. It's warm here today. There's a tape leak. We don't know what's the truth, where it came from. Rumors from the affidavit from Lil Rod that you have had sex with men, coercion, prostitutes, drug activity, filming people. Stevie J told you of his escapades or whatever the hell's going on, because you don't really know what to believe. But I do believe he has some sexual tendencies towards men. I believe that. And I won't doubt that he's had sex with men, which that's his business. My problem is being in the closet. That's why I did a video the other day pertaining to the ramifications of sleeping with men and everybody sleeping with everybody with no condoms. I just got a notification earlier about STDs higher in people over 55. I'll probably do another live about, I'll do a live about that because people need to hear that. Obviously, he doesn't want to live his truth. He doesn't want to be honest and say, hey, I'm attracted to men. Same thing with R. Kelly and probably a whole lot of other men. They know what it would look like to say, I like men, I'm sexually attracted to a man. Because if you start off, what I'm trying to say, you start off with this persona about yourself, okay, as a straight man, strong man. You're not trying to break from that. You're not trying to deviate from that. And you dare anybody question your manlyhood. And I believe that's what has happened with him, and it has happened with many men. People know me as this tough guy, this hard guy, this wannabe gangster, violent person, whatever. I can't deviate from that. I can't let people know that I am attracted to a man. I want to have sex with a man. So he's probably messed with countless of women, made babies, got all these fucking kids, 7 kids or so, but he still likes men, and I believe he likes men. You've heard conversations from other people talking about him. You know, his behavior years ago with the rapper Meek, their behavior, dressing alike, very strange for 2 men. And I will agree. I could see a boy group, guy group dressing alike, girl group, woman group dressing alike, but not 2 separate men walking in a club together or out on an outing. For what? That's what you do with children. And as children get older, they don't want to be dressed alike. Let's be truthful. Your children start getting up in age. 1, they don't want you picking out their clothes. They got a twin, a triplet, quadruplet. They don't want to be dressed alike. That's shit you do when they're small. Putting them in hair bows, matching outfits. They get about 10, 12. They don't want to look like their brother or sister. So I will agree with that. I will totally agree with that. Why are you 2 wearing matching clothes? Help me understand. Help me understand. Us Weekly is the source of that information of him being out. Let's see what else do we have pertaining to P. Diddy, because there's a whole lot of new stuff out. Now, days ago, when all this race shit was going on, they had pictures of him pacing back and forth outside, intercepted at the airport. Some guy he knows, Mr. Paul, 25 years of age, Caucasian. Drugs were in his bag, arrested, got out Tuesday morning. What's the relationship now with those 2? Family vacation, but you're taking some random white guy on the plane with you with drugs in the bag. That doesn't make any sense. Will that guy flip on him and give information? New nonsense about him owing money. Let me see if I can pull that up. Hold on. Thank you all so much for joining me. 100 million. What'd you say? He will? Okay. He might. We'll see. New York Post uploaded 19 hours ago. Thank you for joining me. Sean Diddy Combs owes nearly $100 million on mortgages. LA, Miami mansions. Sean Diddy Combs owes nearly $100 million in mortgage payments on a trio of mansions in Los Angeles, Miami that were raided by federal agents this week, according to a report. The embattled rapper took out 8 bank loans, totaling a whopping $140 million to pay for the sprawling properties, the Daily Mail reported. The Department of Homeland Security searched those homes on Monday as authorities investigate a range of allegations, including sex trafficking against the 54-year-old music mogul who Forbes estimates to be worth roughly $1 billion. Combs bought his LA home located in the elite Holmby Hills neighborhood for $39 million in August of 2014, according to the Daily Mail. The estate includes 8 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, and an underwater swimming pool. Okay. So we'll give you a little view of that. Hold on one second. Giving you too much of a view now. Hold on. Hold on, Lord. Wait 1 second. Come on now. Okay. And there you have it. Sprawling spread. Thank you, hon. Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Woo, sorry about that. To fund the elaborate property, he took out 2 mortgages from the Bank of America, each for $25.35 million in 2014 and May of 2021, the outlet reported. Neither appears to have been paid off. The former mortgage is due to be paid in full August 2029 and the latter in May of 2036. In addition to the LA pad, he also purchased 2 neighboring mansions on Miami Beach's exclusive Star Island, and that's where the other home was raided. Okay? So he's got 2 mansions in Florida, Star Island, then the one I just showed you in LA. 2 bank loans took out for that first one in Los Angeles. For one of the Miami properties, a 9-bedroom, 12-bath waterfront home he bought from Sony music head Tommy Mottola for $14.5 million in 2003. He's taken out 5 mortgages totaling $68.45 million. So far, he paid $42.35 million, the Daily Mail reported. The 10-bed, 6-bath mansion next door was purchased in July of 2021 from Gloria and Emilio Estefan for $35 million. For that property, he took out a single home loan for $20.7 million with Bank of America due to be repaid August 2036. That means across Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes, he's taken out 8 mortgages worth a whopping $139.85 million. Roughly 97.5 remains outstanding. Well, what's the problem? He's worth $1 billion or $880 million, so just pay it all off. Well, what's the problem? You're talking about owing almost $100 million, okay? You're worth $1 billion or less in the 800 ballpark. So just take out the fucking 97.5 and pay it off. This is what makes no sense to me. If you have been worth $1 billion at least a couple of years, you've had ample enough time to pay all the houses off. And you're still making money with your companies and royalties from music and movies, and help me understand. Why would you take all these mortgages out when you should buy one house at a time? That's what a smart person would do. I made this much money. You start out making, let's say, 30 million, 20 million, whatever the number is. You buy a house within that budget. You don't owe no money. You don't take out no loans. Boom, 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 boom. As you progress and make more money, you either remodel that house or you sell that one, then you go buy you another house, but you pay it all the way off. This is what makes no sense to me. Owing all this money for houses. This is so stupid to me. This is just utterly stupid. Let's see where I was, everybody. It's crazy. And you can't live in but one house at a time. So once again, 97.5 million remains outstanding on the loans. The music mogul likely has other properties throughout the country. Of course, I'm sure he owns something in New York. That's where he's from, isn't it? Or that's where he's lived a long time. Diddy has not been charged with any crimes amid the ongoing investigations. An officer with the Department of Homeland Security told the Post the case has been active for several weeks, and authorities believe that there is a disturbing history of sex trafficking. The Miami-based officer who spoke under condition of being anonymous. At least 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe have been interviewed by New York prosecutors in connection to sex trafficking allegations and a RICO case. Now we're talking about a RICO case, which can give you more time, which is New York is the place who brought forward the RICO Act. So what's in the RICO Act? Thank you all so much for joining me. So now we've got him out and about with his children, seen out with Stevie J. Some guy takes a picture of them. Now we find out he owes a lot of money on his loans for homes, which doesn't make any fucking sense to be owing any money. You're worth $1 billion. I don't understand why you'd owe any money. Or maybe it's just me. I don't understand. Do you believe the audio leaked? Do you believe he's going to be charged? Do you believe his children will be charged? Entourage, anybody else? Homeboy was charged the other day with dope in his bag on the plane, bonded out the next morning, lives with his parents, the white boy, which I find very baffling. Why are you living with your parents? Naturally, 50 Cent always has something to say about Puff Diddy. He's been on the wire talking. I'm not really trying to expose all that he said, she said stuff because it's bitch stuff. A man talking about a man all the time, that's not natural. So the fact that he's been labeled a homosexual, P. Diddy, bisexual, 50 Cent, you might want to keep your mouth closed because you talking about another man all the time, and it's really not good. It's not good PR. It's very feminine. It's feminine as well. I'm going to say that about Meek. I'm not here to say what he did or didn't do. People watch you when you hang around people, how you act. So there are probably a few people out here who've been in the industry who believe that Meek has done something with him, or these other rappers, musicians have done something. They're entitled to their opinion. But naturally, you have to have a receipt. And they're never going to admit they had sex with Diddy. He's never going to admit that he had sex with any of these men, okay? He's just not going to do that. But what I do find interesting and very bizarre, Stevie J, why the fuck you want to be out in public with him? They got your name looped up in this affidavit. Why would you want to be out with him? That's crazy to me. That, to me, means you like drama. You like drama. There's also some information about the people who are mentioned in the affidavit. Allegedly, whatever was told to Lil Rod about different people going to the house for parties. Now those people have obviously been contacted and they are denying ever going to a party at Puff's home. How about that? You also get information that I brought. He has sold his last shares of Revolt TV. So he no longer owns that TV company. It is still black owned. And he sold it to someone who is not making it available to who they are. So who is the person that bought the last shares from P. Diddy to Revolt TV? I'm curious. Let me go to my other source to get all this information out to you. Who now owns Revolt TV? Will they announce themselves? I'm curious. Oh, hope cameras weren't on. For what, Lo? What are you talking about? Please check out my extensive content on Sebastian Rogers and also Riley Strain. Thank you. Going live, going live. Believe Mays has something he has to say pertaining to this. Few people are talking about P. Diddy, giving their opinion. I brought you content the other day of a few people who have had something to say about their debacle. One lady who used to be a backup dancer and became a TV commentator. She has a story to tell. I don't know if she'll ever tell it. She also said she might write a book about it. Don't know. I think her name is Tika. We'll see what she has to say if she'll come out. Let's see what Mays has to say. Reparations is getting closer and closer, Mays 48 told his co-host Cameron on the Tuesday, March 26th episode of their It Is What It Is podcast, adding, I'll be sure to give you your percentage, whatever that's supposed to mean. Without directly mentioning Diddy's home raise, Cameron 48 pointed out the incident occurred the same day as the anniversaries of Notorious B.I.G. 1997 album, Life After Death. It's amazing that all of this would transpire on that day. That's eerie, man, Mays remarked. Pulling at Mays' chain, Cameron asked Mays, that's all you've seen? To which he responded that he's seen helicopters. The comment was seemingly directed at Diddy's home raids, as some news footage of the raids was filmed via helicopter. The podcast episode came out one day after Homeland Security investigated Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami properties in connection to federal sex trafficking case. So what did he mean? Reparations is getting closer and closer, Mr. Mays. I think he's had a problem with Diddy for the obvious reasons. It's always got to have something to do with money, does it not? I believe there's been some money owed. Royalties is from what I understood. So Diddy, do you owe him money? Did you not pay him his just due? Help me understand. Because I believe that's why you two don't get along, from my understanding. You owe this man money. Or you owe him money for his collection. TMZ is the source. Let me see if I can play this content here.
Down here at Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here. What's up? Miami's like that. It's a movie. Down here at Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here. What's up? Miami's like that. It's a movie.
All right. Why in the world?
Okay, so Stevie J, he was at LAX. We asked him.
Are you married?
And he holds up his hand, ring, with his finger. But we were saying that there's a couple in Washington, their wedding ring went missing.
And somehow, lo and behold, their child ate it, and then it passed through. Did they have the wife or the kids crap to find?
So this is TMZ as the source. He's been seen out with Stevie J, as you saw that little quick clip. Stevie J standing behind him, they wave. Why are you two out together? Please help Queen understand. Why are you two out together? I'm utterly confused. Let's hear what the let's hear what the news has to say. Diddy is out and about in Miami, and he's even speaking now to evidence in a new clip that an influencer took of the mogul out in the wild, who also captured Stevie J. Fitness trainer and life coach Wes Watson, who has more than 1 million followers on Instagram, posted a video and a photo on Friday that shows Diddy at a cafe in town called Pura Vida, and it looks like Puff was in a good mood, flashing a smile and even chatting. So let's look at this bullshit. There you have it. Guy in the white shirt, buff. Black shirt, P. Diddy. And the white shirt, I'm assuming, is Mr. Stevie J. What in the hell is going on here? Woo! Unclear which location this was at specifically. There's a zillion of these in the area, but our bet is that it was one of the ones close to Diddy's homes there on Star Island. Anyway, check out the clip. Diddy flashes an L with his fingers and says love. He also says what's up to someone off camera and salutes them too. Funny enough, West, sorry about that, actually caught Diddy's longtime bad boy collaborator and friend Stevie in the background as well. It's interesting that Stevie showed up here because he was also recently named in a lawsuit alongside Diddy, which included a salacious allegation that turned out not to be true. So now they're saying that the allegation is not true pertaining to Stevie J and I guess Mr. Diddy and whatever else the rumor says. Lord have mercy. There was another guy rolling in their crew, but it's unclear who he might be. In any case, the point is Diddy is stepping out and living his life. More evidence he's not hiding out. So do you all believe the allegations of Diddy with men, coercion, fondling this Lil Rod, relationship between him and Stevie J, or Stevie J with other men? What the hell's really going on? I don't know. Show you a picture of him out with the kids. There we have it. Twin girls. He's out and about. I guess living his best life. I don't know. I don't know. How do his children feel about the allegations? That's what I'm wondering. Especially girl children. Imagine your father being labeled a rapist, a groomer. Because now people are going to wonder that. You got boys, you got girls. Have you ever touched any of your children inappropriately, Mr. Sean? I'm asking. I'm just saying. Because grooming comes from somewhere. Usually you're taught to be a groomer because you possibly were sexually assaulted as a child. So if I'm going to believe these allegations of him touching, groping, coercion, Cassie, this person, that person, I'm also going to wonder what type of father was he? Did he ever touch his kids inappropriately? Did he ever touch any young children that were related to him inappropriately? All these young people that have been around him. I still don't understand why the fuck Usher's mom sent him up there to live with him for a year. That don't make no sense. Then I just watched an interview with him and Justin Bieber last night where he's asking Justin, where has he been? Why don't you call me? Why don't you talk to me? The young man stuttering. And then Justin has his phone out and he's like, oh, you want me to give you my number? It seemed odd, that transaction. So was the boy harmed behind closed doors? And the reason why he had not been talking to Diddy, whenever this happened a long time ago, is because something happened. I don't know. Or maybe he's busy. He did say that. He says, well, I'm busy and my people didn't tell me you were trying to call. Woo, woo, woo. Very odd exchange. Could be nothing. Could be nothing. All right, what's next? Once again, he's not hiding out. Remember, this is actually the second outing we've seen of Diddy's in the past 24 hours. On Thursday night, he and his teenage twin daughters hit up a Top Golf in town, and there too, Diddy didn't seem too stressed about the situation he found himself in this week. Of course, we're referring to the 2 raids his homes were subjected to, which left at least one of them that we know of completely trashed in the aftermath. The place, I guess it looked like it was looted. Well, let's take a look. Hold on one second. All right, hold on. Plugs undone, safes open. They've gone through desk drawers. What were they looking for in these rooms? Probably cut the teddy bear open. What was in the safes? Obviously, they didn't find any drugs because we haven't heard that they found any drugs. Dresser drawers. Did anybody steal anything? I'm wondering. Lots of shoes. Lots of shoes. Now, Sean, you need a shoe caddy, honey. Lots of clothes, a lot of accessories. Well, I was wondering about that when he got on the plane. Did he get a heads up? That's why he jumped on the plane. Or he was already going out of town. Don't know. Lots of boxes, a lot of accessories. There's a lot of stuff. Safes, open, stuff thrown out. Is that right? Should they throw your stuff out when looking for things? Or should they just go through the things and shut the doors? Is it wrong to just pull everything out and make a mess of your belongings? That looks like a basement there. Still more shoes in there. Very interesting. They went through a lot of stuff. It's like he had a few safes in different rooms. All righty. TMZ is the source. Thank you. Woo. There we have it. Let's see what else we got going on here. We know Diddy and company are furious over the way this was all handled, especially since he hasn't been arrested or charged with a crime. Okay. And yet the feds stormed on regardless. It's also clear Diddy has a good support system around him, and while he's far from out of the woods at this point, he's at least comfortable enough to show his face in public. The saga continues. Yes, it does. And at this rate, it feels like we'll be seeing and maybe hearing more from Diddy in the coming weeks. What say you, the chat, pertaining to this nonsense? Because this is some nonsense. Hold on one second, you guys. Let me try to get this volume down off of here. Hold on. Sorry about that. Notifications were just jumping. I'll be sure asked for his son to come home. Most of you know that P. Diddy raised his son, and I'm also curious to why he raised the boy. Did he feel like Puffy could give him a better life at the time? How does this young man feel with these raids on the homes? There's also new information now pertaining to Russell Simmons. He's been accused, served with some paperwork while he was in Bali, of sexual assault against somebody that worked with him. A lot of nonsense. We also got information from our great friend, Miss Mary J. Blige. She's made a comment on social media about having no problem burning bridges, and that was the same day of the raid. Lots of commentary out here. I also played you this week a young lady who was at that nightclub, who was shot in the face. And she is saying she is willing to have doctors remove the bullet and the pellets from her face in order to bring proof that she was shot by Sean Combs. Now, naturally, nothing came from that grand jury. No charges. Sean did 10 years in prison. So who shot her? Was it Sean, somebody else, or Sean? And Jennifer Lopez, let's talk to you for just a second. Did you take that gun in there? How'd you carry it in? Because you don't like wearing bras. You don't really have no boom booms. You didn't have none then. So you carried it, what, in your underwear? Did you carry the gun in the club that night? Jennifer Lopez, please talk to the queen. Just curious. Suge Knight has something he'd like to say. Everybody's talking. I'm tired of Suge Knight ass. He's another bitch. He loves to talk and have these people calling him collect, or he's calling him collect to talk. But you can't tell us who shot Tupac. What you tell Baba Wawa a long time ago? It ain't for me to say. Well, you locked up now and you just talk. You do one interview after the other. But when it comes to your so-called protege, homeboy, you're in the car with him when he gets shot up, but you can't tell that. But you can now talk on podcasts and give commentary pertaining to everything going on in hip-hop nation. Suge Knight may be behind bars, but he's got some words for Sean Diddy Combs. The former music executive, who is serving a 28-year prison sentence for manslaughter at San Diego's R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility, issued a warning in a collect call podcast outtake obtained by TMZ Friday. Knight began on a lighter note by praying for Combs' 7 kids after federal agents raided the Bad Boy Records founders' Miami and Los Angeles homes Monday. And let me say this too, that's been said by this other bald-headed Teletubby. When it came to all that nonsense with the arrest of that guy for Tupac's murder, he was asked about that arrest, and basically he said, well, you know, I'm locked up, so I don't wish anybody being in prison. So you see, he's still trying to hold that street code. Yeah, this motherfucker might have shot my friend, but I don't care. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. See, somebody said recently about being labeled a snitch. A snitch only applies if you are involved in a crime. So if a random person sees something going on and they want to tell law enforcement what they saw or just repeat it, they surely can, because you're not involved in the crime. So a snitch is supposed to be a person involved in the crime. You go tell what somebody else did, lie, or tell your part, that's supposed to be labeled a snitch. But random people who are not in the game, not breaking the law, they should be able to tell what the fuck they want. I think I quite agree with that. Because why should I be out here getting accosted or hurt, or my family or friend or child is hurt, but I ain't supposed to say who did it? I'm not involved. So hell yeah, I should be able to say, yeah, that's the Negro or the man that shot my child, or that's the woman that shot my child. Why should I not talk? Exactly. So if you want to label somebody a snitch, maybe you need to understand really what a snitch is. Random people wanting to tell who broke into their car and they saw it, that is their damn business. Somebody broke into your house and you saw the person, you got every fucking right to say, yeah, I saw Pookie Ray Ray break in my house. That snitch shit don't apply to stuff happening to you bad. I will agree. Use that snitch word sparingly. You understand what I'm saying? But I think this joker here still believes he's in the streets. Let's get down to it, everybody. Once again, he's been on the podcast running his mouth. He's basically saying he's praying for Combs' 7 kids, you know, after the houses have been raided. The scandal was definitely not nothing to cheer about, he said. It's a bad day for hip hop, for culture, for black people. Knight 58 went to tell Combs 54, your life's in danger. Now, what does that mean? The Death Row Records co-founder alleged, you know the secrets and who's involved in that little secret room you guys are participating in. You know they're going to get you if they can. Well, are they? I don't know. If he's indicted, will he tell other people who were in those rooms, homes, drug activity, drugging the people? Will Puffy snitch on others? I don't know. He also advised Combs not to go by Brotherly Love, the name he assumed in 2017 if he ends up incarcerated. Brother Love is not a good code name for prison, Knight claimed while giving the rapper some real advice. He also hinted that Combs should turn himself in, as Knight himself did in 2015 after a deadly hit and run in West Hollywood, California. Well, Shuggy Woogie, you also don't pay attention. He has not been arrested. He has not been indicted. So he has no reason to turn himself in. And you're the last person I would take advice from. Anybody that runs a motherfucker over in broad daylight with eyewitnesses is not a very smart person. I turned myself in, the convicted felon reminded Combs. Sometimes you got to face the music. That's most of the time. Oh, God. Chew my paw off. While Combs notably has yet to be charged with a crime, the Grammy winner has been sued multiple times in recent months for alleged sexual assaults. So it just goes on to talk about Cassie, and she claimed physical abuse and rape by Mr. Sean. Although they reached an amicable settlement, Combs was subsequently hit with multiple lawsuits, including one by former employer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. So once again, do you all believe the allegations by Lil Rod? He's claiming to want $30 million from Mr. Combs. And he's also suing ex Daphne Joy and Young Miami as alleged sex workers paid by Combs, which Joy has denied. Very interesting. So why is he calling her a sex worker if she's not? I'm curious. Has she ever been a sex worker? And we also hear that this Young Miami is supporting Sean Combs. So you're also a fool, ma'am. Because this boy's got some kind of receipts. And my understanding is that you tried to coerce somebody on him, your relative, cousin, or whomever. And I'm hearing that that's what Sean does. He uses people to put other people in compromising positions so he could take video and film. If anyone has suffered sexual assault, please call 1-800-330-0226. So there we have Suge Knight trying to give advice to Sean that he's not safe. People will probably turn on him, and he shouldn't use brother love in case he goes to prison. Well, Sean, we got to wait for him to get arrested first, and then go to trial, get a jury, and wait on the outcome. Damn. Suge Knight has too much time on his hands. I'm tired of him talking. So all he do is talk. Between him and 50 Cent, they're just two buzzing heifers. They are. And condolences to Louis Gossett Jr.'s family. He has passed away, everybody, at the age of 87. Fine actor. Now let's hear from Al B. Sure. Thank you for joining me. Just touching on everybody who has something to say pertaining to Puff Diddy, Daddy, Brother Love, Sugarfoot, whatever the hell his name is, because I don't really care. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Let's see what he has to say. Few people have been talking about this case. I'm wondering about his children. What's going to happen with his children? Although most of his children are grown, but the homes, you get sued. I'm assuming he's going to make preparations for his children and his finances, because really that's what he needs to be doing right now. Going in, liquidating everything, liquidating these houses down. I would liquidate everything down to one house and one house only, or one condo, just in case an indictment comes out. You do not want to be trying to break down all these homes in different places. You need to have some money set up. You need to be putting money in accounts for the children. You need to tell them they need to learn how to manage money, because it may go in that direction one day. So it's better to be safe than sorry. A house is a house. You know it's about another house. Just saying. All right, let's hear from Al B. Sure. Singer Al B. Sure is beseeching his biological son, Quincy Brown, to come home where he would be safe and shielded from the mushrooming and all-encompassing Diddy scandal. Sean adopted Brown in the 1990s and raised him into adulthood. Sure, well, hold on, he's jumping the gun now. Al B. Sure conceived Brown with the late Kim Porter. After they broke up, Porter moved on and eventually had 3 of Diddy's children, son Christian King, twin daughters Jessie and Delilah. Brown, 32, has been living at Diddy's opulent home in the upscale Holmby Hills section of Los Angeles that borders Beverly Hills and Bel Air. He was there with stepbrothers King and Justin Combs when armed federal agents tore through Diddy's estate as part of the sex trafficking probe on their famous father. So now, because I don't really keep up with a lot of famous entertainment much. So the woman that Puffy had these children by, who's no longer living, Miss Kim, her son is by Al B. Sure. This is weird. So you, help me understand, because this is some stuff black folks really don't be doing, all this kind of crazy stuff. No, not to be racist, but this right here, I don't understand this. I don't understand this. He got a child with Kim, who's no longer living, Al B. Sure. After they broke up, it says Porter moved on and eventually had 3 of Diddy's children, son, King, and twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah. So when you hear rumors from way back when, you would think that they were friends originally, Al B. Sure and Puffy. So I'm going to ask this. Yeah, it's too much research. So I'm going to ask this question because, like I said, I don't keep up with Hollywood business all the time. Sean, were you and Al B. Sure friends beforehand? Because when they put the rumor out like, oh, well, he's raising Al B's son, I didn't factor in this Kim Porter business. They made it seem like they were friends, they were cool, and he gave his son to Sean to raise. But now we hear that Al B was with this Kim first, made a boy child, and then somewhere down the road, she hooks up with Sean. This doesn't make any sense to me. So what is the truth with this business, with this boy? I'm confused. I'm utterly confused. Because I thought they were cool, and then he just said, hey, you know, here's my son, which that didn't make sense. Why would he be offering his son to a man? I don't understand it. I'm gonna have to pull up something because this shit don't make no sense. Yeah, it says after they broke up, Porter moved on and eventually had 3 of Diddy's children. Christian King and twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah. Brown, 32, has been living at Diddy's opulent home in upscale Holmby Hills that borders Beverly Hills and Bel Air. It's a section of Los Angeles. He was there with stepbrothers King, Justin, when they did the raid. Sure, 55, who was born in New York as Albert Joseph Brown III, implored his firstborn to return to the East Coast in a reconciliation letter he posted before his 626K Instagram followers. Letter to my son, come home. The door is wide open, the R&B singer penned on Thursday, March 26th. You're safe here, son. I love you. Pops, you're biological. The last sentence was interpreted as a thinly veiled diss of Diddy. At the same time, some fans question why Al B went public with his plea instead of reaching out via phone. And that's a good question. So, Al B, why didn't you just call your son on the phone, send him a text? Perhaps the father and son are in a better place today than they were 15 years ago, when Brown crafted this poignant letter about his father's conspicuous absence during his formative years. Oh, Lord, this is a long letter. I don't even know if I can. I got to get some focus for that letter. What somebody said, weirdos traded their kids often. I don't know. I just know I never understood why he went with him. I think I had heard the explanation years ago, but I haven't dwelled on it. So naturally, all that's going to come back now because all this nonsense with Sean. But this letter is so fine. Hold on a minute. Fans may be clued in about Brown's state and his relationship with his estranged father. When he vowed to take to Digital Workshop on Thursday at 5 p.m., he did not indicate if he will broach the scandal ensnaring his adoptive father or the issues ever present with his biological one. Somebody says, I think Q should go home. Whatever differences they had could all be attributed to P. Diddy by talking bad after his dad and buying him off. So much of Diddy's bad deeds are coming to surface now. AL just wants to protect his son, and there's nothing wrong with that. Somebody else says, I agree wholeheartedly. Hopefully when Q here and see what his adoptive did to his mother and father, he will go where he belongs. He needs to be with Al B. Sure. I'm sure of that. So what was the reason for this child being raised by Sean? I'm curious. Somebody says they all ran in the same circles in the 90s. They were groping each. Oh my God, stop it. Let's see if I can read this. I've been inspired throughout my life by special circumstances and unique experiences. Foremost, I grew up with a family that injected me with unconditional love and enduring confidence. This is my foundation, the family holidays and celebrations with my maternal lineage, supportive smiles and audiences at school programs, guiding hands to complete homework and special projects in wee hours of the morning. However, I grew up without my father, an irreplaceable force and influence that was absent in my life. I watched other kids enjoy the embrace of theirs, and I searched for a way to reconcile the meaning of my circumstance. Despite my pain, I imagined a life as a good son with my father, baseball, playing in the school band, church, all of the things that he would expect his son to do. I've done. I've stood in front of audiences to receive awards. I heard their applause and praise, but the accolades have been absent, the sound of his clapping hands and encouraging words. His voice that I could distinguish in my sleep. Where has he been? Well, it's deep. Now I reflect on the journey, the pain, the challenges, and the triumphs. Through this song, I'm recorded as a man. I've reconciled as a man, no longer a boy in verse. Now I know that I'm not alone. Albert Brown, also known as Al B. Sure, is my biological father, but Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, has been a father figure in my life for a Sean Combs is the person whom I look up to and appreciate as a father. He is the one who helped mold me into the person I am today and will always try to live up to his expectations. He has always been supportive of me, and I will forever love and respect him. As for my biological father goes, his spitting image is all I have taken from him. Throughout my life, I've always wondered about him, where he was, ? What was he doing? And most importantly, was he even thinking about me? The absence of my father has given me a better understanding of what type of man I'm going to be. I'm grateful for my mom's love, support, guidance, and her strength. Wow. That is from Quincy Brown, everybody. I don't know what to say. So days ago, he posted, I'm going to talk some SHIT today at 5 o'clock on this private Discord. And this is on Digital Workshop. I don't really know what happened. I don't know why this woman would make a baby with Al B. Sure, then go on and hook up with P. Diddy, make babies with him. Now all those children are raised together. I don't understand the dynamics. I probably never will. But in the end, all this is sad, because if you hear this letter, it sounds like a man who wants to know what the hell happened to his father and where was his father. So you have to ask those questions. What really happened? Why did P. Diddy raise this young boy? Why did this woman hook up with P. Diddy? Kim, she's no longer alive. Very strange information. So do they talk? Don't talk? What's the deal? I'm curious. What's the deal? There's also a Newsbreak article pertaining to this nonsense of Young Dolph's murder. This fool who's been out on bond, he can't seem to comply with the bond, has some changes made, but they're not discussing what those changes are. I'm just very, very sick of that story, because his ass shouldn't be out on bond. Please check out my last load up, Dirty Down Low Diddy, a soul snatcher, the ramifications of betting a down low brother. Please check out that video, because nobody's talking about the ramifications of sleeping with a man who likes men, sleeping with a man that sleeps around with different men and women. Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about the houses and the raves and this and that, and what everybody got to say, and who allegedly had sex with, this and that, who dressed alike. But nobody's talking about the ramifications of getting diseases, syphilis, herpes, trichomonas, gonorrhea. What's the other one? And I can't think of it. HIV, AIDS. Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's dancing around the subject. New allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. Thank you for joining me, everybody. This was 2 days ago. As most of you know about the former producer coming forward, Lil Rod. In an updated Miami federal lawsuit filed in February, Diddy's former producer, Rodney Jones, says he was groped, threatened, and witnessed sex trafficking, okay? So we already know about that, February, all that. Said he witnessed criminal activity and was the victim of threats by Mr. Sean. The complaint also connects embattled actor Cuba Gooding Jr., rapper Young Miami, to the alleged wrongdoing. The news comes just days after Homeland Security raided the music mogul's homes in LA, Miami. Combs has not been charged with any crimes, and he's fully cooperating with authorities. Now, his lawyer has spoken that there was a grave misinjustice of them raiding the home with the force and the military. New information I've learned is about the people mentioned. That some of those people were not at Sean's house, allegedly. So what's the truth to that? So Lil Rod has put all these people's names on blast. Allegedly Usher, Meek Mill, Stevie J, whomever, Cuba Gooding Jr., Young Miami, this person, that person. But somebody in these paperworks are saying, I wasn't at Sean's house. I didn't go to Sean's house. So what's the truth? And the fact that this man lived with him for a year is strange to me. And I don't get it. So did Lil Rod lie about some of the people in the affidavit? That's what I'd like to know. Did he lie about some of the people? Because that's some information I did find the other day. That he's lied. So I don't know what's the truth. Because naturally, a lot of people who are famous are not going to want to have their name linked into this nonsense of the allegations. And naturally, they are allegations until you can prove them. And naturally, Mr. Combs is innocent until proven guilty. And Tanika Ray, that's the girl whose name I was trying to remember, Tanika Ray. She has a story to tell, but she won't tell it. So I'm trying to figure out what is it. Once again, he is no longer the owner of Revolt TV. He has sold his last shares to an anonymous buyer, but it is still Black owned. We also get information from a Kurt Burrows, the Bad Boy co-founder, says that Diddy coerced him to surrender ownership with the bat. Is that true? All of this is sad to me because everybody got a story. You got Red telling a story about Cassie being hurt, her finally telling her he had her sleeping with different men. He settled that lawsuit. Undisclosed, don't know if she signed a document to say she'll never talk about the story. Then we got Lil Rod talking, naming different famous people that he slept with and who said they slept with men. And he got video, audio, and he told Lil Rod about it. But now I'm getting information that people are coming forward saying they've never been to his house. They've never been to Sean's house or any of his parties. So now that's going to be a problem. Lil Rod, if you have mentioned people in an affidavit, and now they're denying that they've ever been to his home. So naturally, they should know if they've been to his home, somebody's got receipts. So what's going to be fucked up? You go sit at a table with the feds, and you say, oh, I've never been here before. I've never been here before, never drank here, never sat at the pool, did nothing. And then voila, they dig up some shit out of Sean's house, video footage of parties, escapades, sex, whatever, and there the fuck you are right there on that tape. Whether you're doing something illegal or not, whether you're having sex or not, you could just be standing up drinking a glass of wine. They're going to say, well, you were there. How are you going to explain that? Just saying. This is some nonsense. Leaked audio, allegations against famous people. Some of them are saying they ain't done nothing wrong. Now they got to prove that they ain't never been to his house, dealt with him. And this man is being investigated by Homeland Security, so somebody wants his head on a platter. And how he got away with this for so long is a mystery to me. But this has happened with all these Epstein, Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. A lot of people know what these people have been doing. They have known, rather. They have seen the groping, the nasty commentary. But what can they do? Now, if you did something illegal, as far as coercion, trafficking children, then hell yeah, you're guilty as charged. But you sitting here at a party or a function and you see two men seeming kind of close, or you see a man and a woman close, there's nothing you can do about that because they're grown. And whatever they allow this person to do to them, it's their choice. So Cassie, Lil Rod, you all had the opportunity to bow out. Just like us regular folks, dealing with these regular ass folks out here in the street that talk to us crazy, dog us out, use us, it's the same game. The only thing is, we don't have the money that you all have. That's the only difference. And Lil Rod is a problem for me, okay? I'm not saying the things that he saw didn't exist, didn't happen. Where I have the problem is this man claiming he's a heterosexual man and he rode this donkey ride and now he wants to sue. His situation to me is just a little bit different because a man claiming to be a heterosexual man should have enough beating of the chest to have man up to Puffy or anybody else to say, I'm not going with this. I don't want this. Back up. I ain't interested. And then get the fuck on. He's a man. And we as women also have to learn to say, no, I ain't interested. I don't want to do that. Don't touch me. You go into a situation, you're in a room with 150 people, 200 people, that should be no problem getting your way out of that. That should be no problem of removing yourself. Now, you go to somebody's house, they gave you a ride, and some shit jump off, shit gets awkward, yeah, you got you a problem. Now you got to figure out a way to get out of that situation and get to safety. But a room where people just popping corks and all that, there's no reason for you to be saying, oh, Pookie Ray Ray came up to me, or Shamika came up to me, putting her breast on my arm and all that. Well, remove your arm, chest out the way and tell her to get the hell on. That's it. You living with him for a year is troublesome to me. Because it doesn't take a year for you to see what he's about if other people have made allegations about the parties and his demeanor around men. It would believe he's gay or bisexual. So you had to have heard these rumors and you worked with him anyway. So if you didn't hear the rumors and you started working with him and you saw he was too touchy, too friendly, he's groping your buttocks or you're growing or whatever, you should have clocked his ass and kept it moving. See, that's the reason why Sean has continued to do this. Same thing with R. Kelly and other people. Nobody called them out on their foolishness. Nobody spoke up and said, hey, why are you talking to that little girl? Hey, why are you using people to go get little girls? Because reading and listening to the stories I've heard recently, that is what he is. He's a groomer. He's a manipulator. He would take women, and use them to go flirt with Lil Rod or whomever, hope that it becomes an uncompromising situation, and then film it. He's a real sadist. He is sick. So it's not just baiting people, showing them porn, talking about who fucked a man and all that. He would use the women to rub all on the man, get the man all hot and horny, and then he would stand somewhere with a camera or already got it in the walls behind a plant, whatever, and then the camera start rolling. There's his footage. There's his follies. Now, let me show it to this one, that one, that one. But see, where it's weird to me is, how are you all staying friends with a man that's going to show you porn of two men having sex? That's where I'm utterly confused. That's where I'm utterly confused. He gives you a drink, bartender gives you a drink, lacing a drink. Now we got to ask ourselves about that. Are the bartenders involved? Because I saw one video where there's a white guy working behind the bar. So then you got to ask yourself, are he paying the bartenders to drug people? See, this is going to get deeper. This is about to get real deep. And I think Sean knows this. He's out and about trying to save face, but the house of cards are going to fall. Because one thing begets another once a person starts talking. And then you're going to have to start looping other people into the in the story. And that's where Lil Rod has implicated other people. But some of these people are saying, I've never been to his house. I ain't done nothing with them. We will see. But I believe he's a baiter. I believe he's a groomer. I believe he takes women and invite them over and then say, hey, go over there and holler at my homeboy. Go over there and touch him. And then he wants that for his footage, for his collection. He's a sicko. He's a wacko. And we've heard it. R. Kelly did the same. Filming women with sex from an iPad, all type of crazy shit. And to me, that's funny. Because when I heard that about 2 years or so ago, I said, this is the same black person that can't read and write. He could play a piano by ear, can't read and write, but he knows how to work a fucking iPad to tape himself having sex. You can't make this up. And it's sickening. And when you read this letter by Quincy to Al B. Sure, or to the world, to say, I've got this father, but he ain't been there for whatever reason, because I really don't understand why he gave that boy up to him or place. I don't understand none of that. Because then you got to say, well, where was Kim at? If Kim's the mother, she was the mother at that time, then where was she at for this child to be in the care of Sean? And then you got to think about his behavior. He's a sadist. I got to wonder, has he ever touched his children inappropriately? I have to ask that. There's no way that I couldn't. So what do his other children have to say about his behavior? Did he ever do anything sexual with his children? Did he ever show them any type of sex tapes? Did they ever see him performing sexually with anybody? You have to ask all of that because these allegations are serious and they're baffling. And I believe he has a sex problem. I believe he's a sex addict. I believe he's a sex fiend. I also believe he likes sex with anybody. He doesn't discriminate. He reminds me of R. Kelly. This is a replay of R. Kelly, my opinion. And he's chosen this. Just like most of these people, famous, wealthy, they chose this box they put themselves in. Cuba Gooding Jr., that's even more funny. And you know why it's funny? Because he likes white women, and he's been accused of groping white women inappropriately. So now you come way over here in this pond, you accuse of sexually groping a black man. This is wicked as hell. Is it true? I don't know. But he's got the pictures of Cuba with his hand around his, arm, hand around his shoulder, whatever. They're talking in the studio. So maybe that's his leading up proof. He was there. He was around me. As you see, he got his arm around me. Was he drunk, just goofing off? Like, hey, man, shooting the shit. Or that was a picture of the baby. Because you know what I find interesting? Somebody took that picture. The room is dim, background red. The other pictures, background red, dimly lit. Do you see where I want this? Might be some truth to it. Might be some truth to it. Don't know. Naturally, Cuba's going to deny touching this man. He's going to deny doing anything nefarious with Puff Diddy, on a boat, at his house, anywhere. But what you do have to ask yourself, if Rod is sitting in front of the music equipment, Cuba Gooding's arm is around him, then who took the picture? Professional photographer? Somebody with a video camera just wanting to show everybody chilling and hanging out? iPhone? Or was it from the I need proof of this night so I can use it later to show Tom, Dick, and Harry, Shamika, whomever, who comes to my house and how we get down. I'm just saying. See, you don't know because you're not there. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But I got a funky feeling that Sean has not been a good boy. He's been a bad boy and possibly been a bad boy a long time. And I think he rose to power. He think he's better than other people. He think he has some substance in the world, but he's no different than you and I. And what's baffling to me, if he's done all these nasty things, drug trafficking, using people to carry drugs. They say house staff was supposed to keep him in fanny packs, cocaine. It shows me he doesn't love himself, and he's never loved himself, and he doesn't have respect for people, and he doesn't have respect for children. And the fact that he has 7 children is baffling to me. And the fact that somebody gave him a whole fucking kid that is not his, Quincy. Perhaps he has misled his friends, family, making them think he's this great guy, great father. But I think these children are going to be sorely mistaken when they come out the fog they're in, that their father is not such a nice guy. Because we have acts of violence against women, coercion with baseball bats to turn over music rights and partnerships and shares to a company with his co-founder, a bad boy. He's not a good guy. Surely not a great guy. And you see this a lot with talented people. They use their talent as a way to coerce people, manipulate people, bait people into horrible situations. And we hear this all the time. We've heard this with models, photographers coming on to the models, propositioning them, women going for auditions, the producer, director, whomever, propositioning them, making passes, groping, hell, possible forcible rape. We've been hearing the stories. And it's only going to change when people start speaking up, such as women. You start speaking up and telling your truth. You go to an audition, you let the person know who's conducting it. I'd like the door to stay open, please. Oh, nothing's going to happen. I said I want the door to stay open. You go to meet somebody for a business proposition, role in a movie. You meet them in an open arena. If they say, well, I'm at the hotel, I'm staying here, I like to do all my work here, well, that's fine. I'll meet you downstairs in the lobby. Hotels have meeting rooms. They have open lobbies. I can gladly meet you right here in an open space, but I'm not coming to your room. Same thing with applying for a job. Somebody tell you they're at the hotel, then you say, okay, well, I'll meet you in the lobby. Or I'll meet you at Starbucks or somewhere around the corner. You can't give them the upper hand. And that's what you're seeing with all these wild ass stories. People so thirsty for the job, the opportunity, they're walking into the abyss. Because common sense will tell you, you know you don't have no business meeting nobody at a hotel about a damn thing. Now, there are many functions and events that are held at hotels in their meeting rooms, ballrooms. But that's the only place you should be meeting somebody for anything. A public event, private event, business opportunity, job offer, audition, it needs to be in an open room with eyewitnesses. And yes, we've got the groupies. They want to be in the, in the throes with these famous people, athletes, musicians, but you got to know the ramifications. That anything can happen, anything can jump off, and it's going to be your word against theirs. And that's what you're having here. He is never going to admit to none of this drug trafficking, drug usage, using the staff to carry drugs, using the staff to coerce anybody, blackmail anybody. You heard allegations of him blowing up that rapper's car. It's one thing after the other. Violence, shooting people, shooting a girl in the face, just one thing after the other. Beating this one up, asking her to have sex with men, women, however it went with Cassie. It's just nonstop. And it's only going to stop until you say no. Now, you would think he's going to tread lightly now because he's on radar. And people are going to be watching. The feds are going to be watching. Authorities are going to be watching. So he knows not to do anything. He knows not to film nothing. He knows not to invite nobody back to his house. He knows not to go nowhere and meet no woman or no man. Because he already knows somebody going to be watching and somebody going to have a fucking camera. But what's bizarre, as of late, he's out and about with his children, and poof, voila, Stevie J, you with them. I don't understand that at all. Truth or not, the rumor of you with men, you and him, whatever, I still don't think I'd be in Sean's company. Hell no. Hell no. I would not. That's just me. I'm not going to aid the bullshit. Even if the rumor is not true, I would say to myself, I'd say, you know what? I'm not going to aid this shit. Because if I go somewhere with him, this is just going to fuel the rumors that we doing something together. I wouldn't give people the satisfaction of making up more shit. And that's exactly what you did being in his company. So that leads me to wonder that maybe you don't have a full fucking deck. It's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Because to me, that means you like drama. And I just watched that Hip Hop Atlanta the other day. I turned it on the other morning just so I can get a glimpse of the TV show because I never watched it. Just like clips of it over the years. And I could read you Stevie J right there, opening credits. You a narcissist. You act like your shit didn't stink. The way you was using that woman, pretty girl, so you could be with that fucking Jocelyn chick. And then y'all walked in the place in public like that was your woman, not your client. And then left with her and got your woman sitting here arguing with you about this motherfucking bad. I said to myself, is this real? Because I know they put on a lot, for TV and stuff, reality TV. But it was your attitude. The way you carried yourself in the opening of that TV show, reality show, the way you talked to the girl, trying to buy that house and have her way out somewhere away from Atlanta. You were telling the story then, what kind of person you are. I do what I want when I want. You should be glad to be in my company. So I started thinking about that while watching the show. And I said, I can see this Negro being with a man. Hell yeah, I can. Because he think he's hot shit. And like somebody said, you put in a little Mickey, Molly, cocaine, whatever, you liable to do anything. And that's true. That's how a lot of people have gotten themselves in jacked up situations, is by using drugs, taking drugs willingly, or being drugged. And we have learned too, with cocaine, crack cocaine especially, a lot of men turn tricks to get the drugs. They may have been heterosexual, so they thought, but when they got addicted to crack cocaine, they started performing sexual acts with men. Then they started prostituting some of them. Because that's the whole point. The drugs make you do crazy stuff because you're trying to get high. And I want that for some of you currently use. And we know, Sean, you use because that white boy just got arrested this week on your plane with the dope in his bag. He had no reason to have no dope, number one, in the bag and in your company. So that bullshit about you going out of town and overseas or whatever to zone out, you do this once a month. Yeah, with a little cocaine, you sure do. So we done proved that already. You're a user. And 9 times out of 10, the people that fuck with you and ride with you, they use too. You don't think you are, like regular people. You think your shit don't stink, you think you're invincible. You got the nerve to talk about being humble and talking about G-O-D and all that. All that's a ruse. All that is fraud. A farce, as some guy said the other day. It's just a farce. The way you have been living with these rappers and these other producers, you all are farces. You're walking around pretending to be something that you're not. You perpetrating that you're a heterosexual man and you're not. I won't doubt you do like men. You're probably like men most of your adult life. You didn't know how to come out the closet. You're 54. You still don't know how to come out. But you might want to. Save yourself and come on out. Because to me, I don't see you changing. I don't see you changing. You know why I say that? Because that boy was on that plane this week with cocaine. That boy was on your plane with dope. And that shows me you are doing just what you want to do. And you probably will never stop. So you coming outside with your daughter shopping and Stevie J and all that old bullshit, you are never gonna change. You like using cocaine, drugs, you like using people, manipulating people, you like filming people. I won't doubt that you have also had sex with young girls, underage children, minors, and I won't doubt that you've done it with young boys too. And just from what I've seen from some of the little young boy talking about you, he looks sugary talking, and I said, he's been in your company. I don't know what you've done with these other young men when they were coming up in the game of music, if you've touched them inappropriately or had sex, but I won't doubt that you've tried. I won't doubt that you have tried. And some of you probably have succeeded, and they ain't gonna never tell that secret because they're out here perpetrating with women. And they would never want that secret out, that they have had sex with a grown-ass black man, or any man for that matter. But I think you should finally come on out and just tell everybody that you're gay. Stop the bullshit. Because as Suge Knight said, our little bald-headed Teletubby, you hold a lot of secrets. And nobody wants those secrets out. Anybody that's been in your house, anybody that's had sex in your house, done drugs in your house, they don't want that out. Because there are other men who are probably living the same way on the down low. They're not going to want that out. They're never going to want that out. And I won't doubt that some of their women have suspected it. And then after I listened to Nicki Minaj talk on a podcast, an older podcast, where she's talking about everybody want me to be with this person, but they're abusing me and a fake gay brother, whatever. That told the story right there. But who was she talking about? And another thing, and this is no disrespect to you, Mr. Meek, but I've been watching content pertaining to you this past week, looking at photo stills of you, videos of you, and you do look quite feminine to me. Now, one could say, well, hell, that's where the name came from. He's meek, mild-mannered. Maybe. But I see something in the photos and the videos especially, because you're moving around and throwing your hands around and making gestures. And I have to say, you look awfully feminine to the queen. If I'm wrong, ain't no big deal. I'm not saying you had sex with Diddy or any other man, but what I'm saying is what I've seen in these videos of this week, your demeanor is feminine to me. And your response to these allegations by Lil Rod in February is whack to me as well. Because a real man, straight man, would have went hard as hell on IGX or whatever, anybody talking crazy about him being a homosexual. And it's not true. They would have went the fuck off. As the old song said, you don't know nan nigga, that's what they meant. They've been rapping up there. Do you hear me? Who the hell you talking to? Oh, we can take it to the street. You don't know me. They would have got crunk on IGX or whatever. Hey, we can take it outside. All the little responses, they were too mild-mannered. Because the average black man, white man too, he heard that about himself, allegations, affidavits, he going the fuck off. He getting ready to make a statement, and he getting ready to blow the screen up. To let you know, hey, I ain't what you want. You got me fucked up. That's how you be talking, excuse my language. Not you. You responding in these posts as if you've been accused of something petty. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe you stole a candy bar from Walmart. How about that? That's how you sound in your posts pertaining to these allegations by Lil Rod. I didn't steal no candy from Walmart. Man, y'all play too much. Y'all just trying to take a black brother down. I'm about my business, my music. I ain't like this, this, and this. That's how the post sound. Sound like you're responding to something very petty and minute. Now, some can say, well, Angela, he don't got to get crunk just because somebody think he gay. Okay. But are you? Have you had relations with Sean Combs or any other man? Will there be proof to show you've had sex with Sean Combs or any other man? Because if there is, I feel like you're going to have a problem. Because see, that's the one thing people don't understand about denying something. There's a reason the allegation is out. There's a reason why this man is filing a lawsuit. There's a reason why he's got pictures and videos on file of what allegedly has happened with Sean Combs. And what you should be thinking about yourself is if there is proof of a relationship with you and Sean, because the man had cameras in his house, working cameras, allegedly has shown footage to different people about who's doing what. That woman told it, Cassie, he liked to bring in prostitutes for her to sleep with, men prostitutes, while he watched and ejaculate or whatever, orgasms. He's a watcher. He's a voyeur. And you got to tell yourself, I can deny this shit all day, but more than likely there's some proof. That's what you need to understand. Your friend is a voyeur and he likes receipts to show people because he gets filings off of watching people have sex. He gets filings, I believe, off of watching men have sex. And I believe he's held this over men's heads. He holds the key, he holds the tapes. Oh yeah, I believe that. Because I don't see nobody making that up about somebody having cameras and watching people have sex and people having sex in the house. I believe all that has happened. And I won't doubt he has a receipt on you, sir. And you should be very worried. And Stevie J, you should be very worried too. So you walking around with homeboy is a dumb move. It ain't a boss move. You may in your mind think, well, I'm showing I'm confident, I'm secure, I don't got nothing to prove. Diddy ain't got nothing to prove. We good friends, we homeboys, if you say so. I personally, I ain't getting ready to add fuel to the fire. I wouldn't. Now, some women may not care. Somebody go out and say a woman gay. Oh yeah, she fucking Susie. Woo, woo, woo. Her and Susie be together all the time. Susie might say, well, I don't care if let people think what they want. We cool, we friends. I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. So she'll still keep hanging with her friend. But with men, I don't think a lot of men will navigate this way and be out in public with Sean. That's just my opinion. That's the latest, everybody. He owes a lot of money on his houses, near $100 million. Got the money to pay it, why not pay it? Sold his last shares to Revolt TV, no longer owns that, still remaining black owned. I'll be sure and sent the letter out to his son, Quincy. I also read your letter that Quincy once wrote to his father. What will happen? Will he go home to his father? Do they have a good relationship? Are they trying to mend? We will see. His other children, what's going to happen with them and the other homes that they were staying in? The house in LA, I told you, is owned by the daughter. Her name's on it, alongside one of his companies. What is his net worth now? Since he's paid Cassie, and now this new bullshit coming out, lawyer fees, so on and so forth. Not good. Many companies are breaking ties with him. That's not good because that's money. I would assume he's also going to get everything in order pertaining to his finances, delegating who can have this, have that, own this, sell some properties just to be on the safe side. If I was him, I would do that. I'd start chopping up my finances. I'd start making sure everybody got their little lump sum put to the side. They spend it as they feel like it. I would start designating things. Because what'll be worse in his situation, he doesn't do any of this. He gets indicted. He's fighting now, going to court, woo, paid all this money for lawyers and shit. Starts getting sued again, some more lawsuits. Boom, somebody finds him guilty for something. And now you got to try to get all that shit in order before going to prison. And then you definitely can't leave some young folks in charge of anything with your name on it, because we've seen that don't work. That's why we got this new shit with Michael Jackson's children and Catherine. Blanket wants the grandmother to quit digging in the pot for lawyer fees to fight some partnership that the state started with something about, I guess, selling Michael's music or whatever. And that's what happens when you're wealthy. Things can happen to you, you get sick, you die, and you don't leave a will, and you don't leave nobody in charge of nothing. And then when it's small children, they can't be in charge of anything. So that's the reason why Michael Jackson's mother was in charge of his estate. But that lady's old now. And it'll be a shame that all his music compilations, everything is sold off. And the children, they're just going to live off of what's designated to them. Basically, they won't be able to carry on the name and have the rights to Michael Jackson's name. Once it goes divided by each child, and then everything's sold, that's it. It's over with. And I got a feeling that might happen with Sean's children because they're young. And if they don't know anything about the business, music business, they don't know anything about handling money, they don't know anything about managers, attorneys, they are fucked. And anything in Sean's name that could be worth anything, they'll eventually be battling over it. And then one would say, well, so what? What's good for the goose? And that's what happens in these stories. The children end up paying the price. Mistakes. Thank you all so much for following this network. If you'd like to donate to this channel, $@TheGanji, 129 Cash App. Stickers, chats are always welcome to the live stream. Please check out my last video pertaining to Sebastian Rogers, Miss Gomez, who was married to Mr. Proudfoot, Chris Proudfoot, the stepfather of the missing boy child. She has spoken on a podcast, and I chopped up her commentary during my last live stream today. And it's a very dicey situation. And as I said in that live stream, she needs to take cover because she has been dealing with some very dangerous people down here in Tennessee. And I don't think she really knows how dangerous they are. And I said, I think she should go underground for a while because I don't trust Mr. Proudfoot. I don't trust his family. And these people are willing, I think, to do anything for Chris. And that means even breaking the law. So she needs to be very careful. And anybody that's immersing herself in this story pertaining to Sebastian Rogers, you need to tread very lightly too, because I don't think you're welcome down there in Hendersonville. Maybe by some, but not by all. And the old saying about being carried out. Better to be carried out by 2 than 6. Stay woke. This hillbilly country down here, honey. I keep trying to tell folks. This is hillbilly country. And the one thing you don't want to see pop off down here is some old country white folks getting jiggy. Because they will do it. And they'll do it against other white people. And this is what I've been trying to tell people about Tennessee. I live in East Tennessee, and that mess going on is up the road from me in West Tennessee about that little white boy missing. Some of y'all better check yourself. Because if you think a white person won't turn on you and you white, you are sorely mistaken. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, they'll turn on you and they'll dump your ass somewhere back up here in these woods and nobody will ever find you. So you got to ask yourself what's worth a view and a like on a YouTube channel. Is it worth your health and your livelihood to make a video, prove a point? Because now we're seeing there's more to the story of this little white boy missing, and the people who are related to his mother by marriage, they're dangerous people, and these people need to be watched and monitored. And hopefully law enforcement will be taking heed. Because as the Cajun Navy said, we ain't never had no problem like this before in searching for a child. That the Riley Strain case is nowhere like this case here Of course. And that's what's so sad. That is what's so sad. That you went all the way over to a whole nother jurisdiction to help somebody find a child, and the folks that showed you, they're willing to cover for Chris Proudfoot and his wife, Katie Proudfoot. So they're telling you what they're made of. So that's my message to the public. You better tread lightly over there. Because what you have to remember, if they got a 15-year-old missing, they'll get your ass missing. That's my commentary. Happy Easter. God bless all of you. Stay safe. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Talk to you later. Bye.